French and Friends, early dinner or late lunch, however you want to look at it. I am feeling blessed right now to have Alan Moy and Noah Bleicher in studio with us. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello, how's it going?
I got to tell people, Viet Nom Nom. You already love the name. Viet Nom Nom at Viet Nom Nom on everything right now. This food is absolutely beautiful. 618 and a half Church Street in Evanston. Guys, I haven't spoken to you before a couple of minutes ago. We just met. Nice to meet you. And I don't know that, look, there are a lot of great foods out there, but I don't know that there's really been any greater fusion of cultures between a lot of bad history, but the French and the Vietnamese getting together. Did you guys just love Vietnamese food before you got into business? What happened to get you going down this line?
Absolutely.
Anyone first? Go ahead, Noah.
Yeah, I'll jump in. Vietnamese food at its core, it just has all these fresh ingredients.
Yeah.
Great colors, lots of fresh herbs and vegetables, and most of their proteins are going to be grilled versus fried. And so for us, it was a way to sort of meld these delicious flavors, but also a big health factor as well. Our big goal with Viet Nom Nom was always to make fast food healthy. And so the way we could do that was to find this great medium of Vietnamese cuisine and pick sort of the 5 or 4 or 6 rock star ingredients and menu items and sort of make them our own version of it, make it the Nom Nom way. And so we took all those great, sort of those core foundation recipes, built on top of them. We're really proud of the menu we put together, and we really enjoyed the reception we've been having so far in Evanston.
You've said a lot of great stuff there, but the colors certainly is one of them. Just every time I look at a Vietnamese dish, it's just absolutely beautiful, which makes me think of that lush countryside. It just exudes the culture, the topography, the geography of everything about Vietnam, and it healthy. You guys came at really the right time. Like I don't know what we've been doing for a couple hundred years in this nation, just putting whatever into our bodies, but people want to eat healthy right now, and they demand it. And certainly college students, do you find that that's one of the things that is drawing people to you right now?
Oh, we're lucky. I mean, this is a world that you said has awoken in terms of being conscious of what's going into your body, right? And you ask about this community, both the students and at large in this community, and we're sitting in a hotbed of good eaters.
Yeah.
So with Evanstonians and folks in the community, with the university, I mean, they are demanding high quality food, scratch preparation, and knowing where your source is, right? Like where your food is from. So we try to embody that, like you said, in the colors and the ingredients. And so you're looking at a few ingredients here. We have local tofu, local coffee. We use products that are organic whenever possible, as fresh as can be, and respecting the integrity of the food itself, both in the traditional and the cultural standpoint, as well as also just the respect of the quality of the ingredients. So we're not cooking off vegetables. We're not over grilling, over steaming anything. You really got a lot of raw vegetables with really nice savory meats, protein like tofu, things like that. And so I think we're looking at a world where, the market's demanded it. We've wanted to do it for a long time in our both respective lives and paths.
Yeah.
And it's all converging at this point. You're looking at a world where the community has asked for it for all the right reasons, and we're really happy to serve that because it means a lot to do something right with food and to respect the tradition behind food.
You've got one of the other things going for you is it's not over-the-top expensive by any stretch of the imagination. I think you mentioned it, Noah. I mean, this is reasonably priced fare that you're going to get quickly, too, which also is a heck of a marriage for a college town, too, right?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, one of the mantras that Noah and I both believe in is making this approachable, right? And accessible. We live in a world where food can be white tablecloth down to a canned good, but we're trying to make that intersection of really high-quality food come to life in a more mainstream, accessible format, right?
Sure.
A fast food format, as well as doing it so that, folks of all types of, backgrounds and walks of life can enjoy the food. It's not a sandwich for few, it's a sandwich for many. It's a salad for many.
So some of the greatest meals I've had have not been even close to the most money that I've spent on a meal, too. And I think that speaks to really the diversity of this nation. Like all cultures are represented in American culture, whatever American culture is. And that's why we have great options like this. I lived in New Orleans for a while, and that's where I was first introduced to Vietnamese food because there's a large population of Vietnamese. Now I'm a stone's throw from Argyle Street in Chicago. And then I ran into you guys at the mashup. I was like, oh my gosh, my head is exploding right now because it's simply one of my favorite of all time. Is Vietnamese. Viet Nom Nom, 618 and a half Church Street in Evanston. Eat VietNomNom.com. Same on Twitter and Instagram as well, I believe, right?
You got
Facebook too?
You got it.
Oh, you're
Across
lucky.
the board.
Alan Moy and Noah Bleicher. All right, you mentioned, Noah, the Nom Nom way. What's the Nom Nom way?
Absolutely. So, we are really proud and honored that we have this great platform of a restaurant to affect our community in a very positive way. So, to us, that means partnering up with, local kitchen development programs that, take folks from our local Evanston community, train them up, get them experience that they wouldn't otherwise have, and then then we can provide that first job opportunity for them. So we employ folks all the way down from high school students all the way up to lifetime professionals in the restaurant industry. And for us, for Alan and I, that's a huge privilege for us. That's sort of what gets us up in the morning is that opportunity we have to provide great job opportunity, but also excellent training and it's sort of a unique way of doing things. We have sort of built this business to break the mold, to break the standards of the restaurant industry. There's plenty of stereotypes out there that anyone listening to here, can sort of, pick a bad horror story or a good one too. But what we're trying to do with Viet Nom Nom is, create a new standard in restaurants, a new standard in the way we train folks, the way we develop them up. We know that there's a historical average of short lifetimes of restaurant tours. Restaurant employees, I should say.
Yeah, you mean quite literally.
Well, literally, yeah. They could be with you for 2 weeks. They could be with you for hopefully much longer too. So
and then I'll tell you why I asked if you were talking about mortality rate, because I have a chef, a brother-in-law, who was told you got to get out of the kitchen. You're going to kill yourself because the stress, the stress that is involved. But I know what you're saying too. It's really hard to keep employees for whatever reason. Now I got to ask you this, dude. Did you guys have food restaurant backgrounds before? So you guys are both working in the restaurant industry?
This is a first-time gig in terms of full-on food for the collective two of us as well as individually. We have our both separate paths have gotten us here. I think first and foremost, it starts with a big appetite. So where Noah and I come from is having always loved food, and I can let him share his background. Okay. But essentially for me, it's always been loving food. I am the first at the table, last one there still. So food has always been intrinsic into what I believe in and what it does for common ground and bringing people together, like you said, of all walks of life and cultures, and that's what we do here in this country. For me, it started literally just being born and raised literally in a restaurant. My mom and dad had me, a new house, and a restaurant all in the same year. It's 30 years in the making, and I'm very grateful and lucky to finally be here 30 years later. But it's, I think, food, but also what we believe in beyond those kitchen walls. It's taking care of people in the community. It's working with folks. It's breaking the mold. It's doing things differently. And I think despite maybe not having that culinary background, I think those passions that drive us arrive, very well welcomed into this food world.
Well, one of the things that really interested me that both of you guys have said, but you started this, Noah, was changing the dynamic, changing the formulae of the business. And you guys met at Kellogg, correct?
So actually, I was a Kellogg student, and one of my best friends was Alan's best friend growing up at undergrad at
here in
Michigan. Exactly. So Alan's born and bred here in Chicago area, so he knows the city backwards and forwards. He's worked here in downtown for much of his career, and then we partnered up because we have this mutual friend who knew that we both had this passion for this business, not just Viet Nom Nom, but for restaurants and community building and and making something our own. So he connected us. He said, "Hey, you guys got to meet. You guys have a lot of similar qualities and same vision for life and a vision for a company." So we got together. Alan organized this excellent food tour of Wicker Park. And again, I'm not a Chicago native, so I didn't know much about other areas outside of where I was living. Alan took us around on this great tour, hit all the the popular hotspots and a lot of unknowns too.
Yes.
And he was showing us sort of some of the rock star dishes. So we did sort of like a instead of bar hopping, we were restaurant hopping. And so we had one dish at every place, tried it all, shared it, and we were on to the next place. And so it was just it was a great connection right at the beginning. And then from there, obviously, we started putting our heads together on where we could take this business. And it started small. It started with the catering company. It grew into doing pop-ups and events. Then we added other distribution channels like a prepackaged salad and summer roll, spring roll over to Northwestern University. And then the big goal was always the storefront. And so together we put together the vision for what it's going to look like, how we're going to serve folks, the operation for everything. And then obviously we spent a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of lost sleep over making this final vision a reality. And now here we are going on 5 months strong over on Church Street, with big visions for where we're going to take this company.
I got to ask you too. You caught lightning in a bottle with that name. Was there even a close second to Viet Nom Nom for the name?
We got to give credit.
It's amazing.
Noah's got that credit on that one.
That's you.
That was a late 1:30 in the morning, no sleep, and just came like a flash of lightning. I was like, that. Okay, I think this is going to work. I think it's going to. The second, I'm not even going to mention the second name. It was
okay. No, that's cool. I don't even want to know.
Yeah, you don't. It was not memorable.
It starts and stops at Nom Nom. That's all that matters.
So that's one of my curiosities. For all that you guys have studied, other businesses, other tastes, other flavors, trying to capture the spirit of different restaurants, perhaps, and how can we take a little bit of this and make it our own? How much in business sometimes is just metaphysical, really, just magic. Like the great teams out there or great casts of TV shows. Sometimes you just, the universe puts you together and good things happen, and you really can't explain it every time.
No, you can't. I mean,
I'm not trying to diminish anything you guys
can't.
have done, but
there's the old mantra that what luck is what hard work meets preparation.
Right.
I do feel that we come with a game plan every day that we're proud of, right? But to your point, the other day we sent a message out to our team, and we have a whole like app around our team, and we can do messaging and whatnot. And we wanted to celebrate this because they're not always there at the same time. And what we shared with them was that, guys, we just sold close to 500 entrees and served over 500 people in a given day.
God.
We have a restaurant that's 1,100 square feet. You can see it is about 80% kitchen space.
Yeah.
And that is the major mothership that otherwise served 500 plus people across Northwestern's campus.
Yeah. 3
catering gigs, the storefront, and to your point on metaphysical, we still sit here sometimes at the end of the day is pinching ourselves, because for maybe culinary folks, it's a little different. For guys who have believed in this and do believe that we can do this really specially moving forward, it's something you don't take for granted. And you're sitting there on a Wednesday or Tuesday, and you're like, holy smokes, this is happening, and you got to take that by storm and not take it for granted, but appreciate what you're doing here.
Let's talk about the menu real quickly, because you guys are easy to talk to, and I didn't realize we've already been speaking for like 10 minutes or so. So banh mi is my jam. We can start with that. Well, walk me around this that you have here. For those of us who are just listening on terrestrial radio, find us on Facebook at French and Friends. We'll put this video up, or at 1590 WCGO. Okay, the banh mi.
Yep.
For folks you don't know, to start with a banh mi.
Banh mi is like, it's the quintessential. It's what burgers mean to Americans, and grilled cheese and ham and cheese. It's that classic staple, right? You can have it fancy, you can have it bare bones, you can have it at nighttime, you can have it at daytime. The banh mi for us is our most popular dish. You're looking at the absolute rock star of our menu. That's the pork banh mi. Noah and I generally laugh because we work the register a lot, and I think we've probably steered half the community towards the pork banh mi, so maybe we've kind of skewed that, but we feel proud of that. That's hand-trimmed pork shoulder off the bone, grilled to perfection in our best estimations, right? Mirrored with everything that we do with fresh ingredients. So it's fresh cilantro, sliced cucumber, we pickle our own carrot and daikon, and then we pair that with 2 sauces. So there's a sriracha mayo we do in-house, as well as Bragg's. So across the world, you may have had this. Maggi is the most fantastic seasoning of umami. Yeah. Sometimes it just has certain ingredients that don't necessarily go in line with what we believe in terms of bringing the highest quality of ingredients. And so what we do to mirror some of that umami flavor is Bragg's. And so the banh mi is a staple to the Vietnamese cuisine, and the platform there, to us, is respected. It's fresh baked local bread made by our friends at Gonella. It then becomes a staple to the rest of the community in a high quality way. So hand-trimmed pork shoulder off the bone, and that meets all the standards you'd want. There's just no head cheese, deli meat, and pate, and we're okay with that, because that means we're bringing high quality food to the table every single day.
Delicious stuff. I got to tell you, French bread, there were many days in New Orleans where I really didn't have enough money, but I did have $1 or 90 cents to go get a loaf of French bread, no butter, and it helped me survive.
Yeah.
Nothing better.
Okay. I see peanuts over there.
So we're
Automatically,
going counterclockwise. I'll do my best Vanna White.
Okay.
This is a spicy peanut pasta. Okay, so this is an advent of, I think, of a lot of cool ideas that Noah started with. We continue to work on and continue to evolve. And so I say started with because this is a dish that is core to what a lot of folks expect in a lot of Asian dishes and flavors.
Yeah.
Peanuts, right? Peanut sauce.
Sure.
So the rest of our menu that I'll walk you through essentially does have a major tie back to a very traditional concept in the Vietnamese culture and cuisine. This spicy peanut pasta, I think, is us, eating through half this country, as well as eating half of Vietnam, and figuring out what it is that we want to deliver on quality, as well as those flavor and those tones that you get from Vietnamese cuisine. So this lo mein, it's a lo mein made here locally in Chicago, down in Chinatown.
Nice.
Something that I feel especially proud of. My mom was born and raised in Chinatown, and so for me, it's an homage to, I think, her roots, my roots, and just bringing forward a noodle that really is that same sort of like fresh gnocchi vibe versus a dried gnocchi, right? Folks know what that feels like in Italian fashion, but why can't we show that in an Asian fashion, right? So that lo mein is fresh and made al dente. We toss that with a spicy peanut pasta. It's served with, here in front of you guys, a grilled chicken. It's our grilled lemongrass chicken. And that, again, is paired with all those fresh ingredients: peppers, carrots, bean sprouts, and cucumbers. So we really can't go wrong here with fresh noodles, right?
No, never.
No.
Absolutely. And there's such a difference.
It's a huge bite. It's awesome.
Is it that much more effort, honestly?
No, I mean, so we can't claim credit for the true making of that fresh noodle, but we can claim the partnership there, and that's what means a lot to us, to serve high quality ingredients, because we're not noodle experts, right? But we can definitely serve it the right way. So,
all right, my friends, this is amazing. Okay, one of the other things, and I mentioned the bakery. I love going down to I live close.
Sure.
I told you over by Argyle, so I love hitting the bakeries over there, and the sweets too was something that I didn't know about. And I'm looking at this almond. It looks like sliced almonds in that cookie right there too.
Oh, absolutely. These are our scratch-made almond cookies. So most of us have seen those yellow almond cookies, let's say, at carryout. I was born and raised in one of those types of restaurants, and those are fantastic, right? This is, again, that evolution of taking a really core concept and going straight to a world where You are. Got it.
Sonar just ganked one, if you guys are wondering why we're laughing here.
He can give us the taste test.
Yeah. Look at his beard. He's got so many things in his beard.
A sign of true enjoyment is silence and, of course, in the beard, right? So I'm happy to see the crumbles in there.
He's nomming, dude.
Yeah.
Viet Nom Nom. Viet Nom Nom. Okay, 618.5 Church Street in Evanston. EatVietNomNom.com. EatVietNomNom.com. I'm not going to put it to you yet, but I mean, knowing what little I know about you, I would be shocked if I didn't see a Viet Nom Nom in, I don't know, Columbus, Ohio, Athens, Georgia, somewhere like that in the next little bit of time. Yeah, maybe?
Yeah, maybe Ann Arbor first.
One at a time, though, right? Ann Arbor. Oh, my bad. Okay, go Michigan. Guys, I really love it. I was so excited when I saw you guys at the mashup. I was like, I didn't even know these folks were here. So at that point, you guys had only had the storefront for 3 or 4 months, something like that. Mm-hmm. So things are going in the right direction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
how much scratching have you had to do on that business plan to start with? Not a whole lot, or are you following it to a T?
No, I mean, we laid out a pretty good plan, we think, from the get-go. And honestly, we wouldn't have put this much effort, this much investment personally and financially into this unless we felt we had a really good vision for it and an ability to execute on that, too. Yeah. Both with Alan's professional background in banking and a strong business background from his education and, my MBA from Northwestern, we both came in with, I think, a solid head on our shoulders and also strong vision, not just to build a restaurant, but to really scale this thing. And so, right now, frankly, we're thinking about what makes sense for the next big step.
Yeah.
We talk about expanding across Chicagoland. Yeah. I think that's very much, still the plan. But, maybe there's a half step towards that and towards getting maybe a commissary kitchen, which allows us to really scale the operations, focus more perhaps on the catering and the grab-and-go side of the business while still taking care of customers in the, day-to-day format, face-to-face, which we love doing. That's a big part of why we do this is, we get to talk to our guests. We get to see them enjoy the food. But, there's many different ways to get to the scale and the size that we want to do. And, this is the fun part about owning a business. You can make those decisions on your own and evaluate, on a sort of constant basis, what's the best next move. And so, number 2 is definitely on the horizon. And, whether that's a commissary kitchen or whether that's another storefront, TBD.
Okay, cool. I want to thank you both personally as Americans for 2 guys with supercomputers on top of your shoulders and who are both well educated. Thank you for not getting into banking or trying to sell me any shiny financial instruments that nobody can understand. Thank you for just putting things where they matter, which love in other people's stomachs. That's a lot better, I'd say.
Truly our pleasure.
Viet Nom Nom. Folks, please go. 618.5 Church Street in Evanston. Eat Viet Nom Nom. Eat Viet Nom Nom across all platforms, okay? That's the easiest way to find them, and you're going to see some cool pictures, too. All right, French and Friends, Alan Moy and Noah Bleicher, thank you guys so much. I wish you all the best and continued success.
Thank you, my friend.
So much. Thanks for having us.
We're going to eat now. More French and Friends coming up.